I always try to get people to understand that a light bulb goes off when I talk about the infamous interview with Kanye and Sway. Mm-hmm. So that interview 8 years ago, Kanye was telling Sway, like, I'm trying to get like the Calvin Kleins and the Ralph Laurens of the world, and nobody's giving me that information. And Sway was trying to give him information, and he told him, you ain't got the answer, Sway.
Yes, he
like
did.
The way you try, because he was like, Kanye, you rich, just go get a warehouse. You can make your own products. And Kanye was like, I lost 27 million trying to do it that way.
Right.
That ain't it. You ain't got the answers. Like, it's the information that's not getting to me. Fast forward 6 years later, he does a licensing deal, not a good one though, with Adidas.
Yes.
And he gave up some control, which I never give up.
No.
But he became, on paper, a billionaire.
Right.
Good idea, now we buying merch.
That's ghetto.
Payment miss.
Ooh, the ghetto.
Say she quit.
Ooh, the ghetto.
Late on your rent.
Rent is ghetto.
New event.
Ooh, the ghetto.
Invoice in.
That ain't ghetto.
Money spin.
Oh, that's ghetto. Hold on, this kind of ghetto being a CEO.
Are you a hairstylist, beautypreneur? But let me give you a quick tip right quick. I had a client that literally was in the school of marketing, and they were able to amplify their content because I showed them exactly what to do when it came to their launches and their content. Another student went crazy with her launches and made 10K on the first launch because she was able to not just open her books up, but she actually had a celebration for her books every month when it dropped, right? She went on live and made it a thing when her books dropped, so then she literally got booked out. If you want 10K months, 20K months, 30K months, 40K months, then you need to learn how to launch, okay? Comment SOM in the chat if you need to join us in the School of Marketing. See you inside. Welcome back to another episode of the Ghetto CEO Podcast, because being a CEO, y'all, sometimes it really be giving ghetto. But we bring entrepreneurs to the couch that want to tell their ghetto CEO stories, because honestly, y'all, if you don't hear it from other people, you probably think you're going through it alone. You probably think that you're in isolation. You probably think that this is only happening to you. But guess what, y'all? I'm here to give you guys a rude awakening to let you know that you are not alone, okay? And so you got to stop being in isolation. And so I want you guys, if you are loving our community, if you are loving the podcast, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and click the link below to join our coworkers community so we can stay tapped into these Ghetto CEO stories. So listen, y'all, today is nothing different, okay? We are bringing another CEO to the couch. But before we get started, y'all, I want you guys to I want you to turn the phones off. I want you to focus and listen to this story, because, baby, we is finna be strapped in for a ride today. But welcome to the couch, girl.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be in the A.
Yes. Okay, so where did you fly in from?
Los Angeles.
Wow. Okay, so what time did you leave? That's a early flight.
No, I got here on Monday evening. I did the Big Tigger morning show yesterday.
Yes. So. Okay, how was that experience?
Oh, it was great. Shamia and Miss Pat are already fans of the brand.
Yes.
So it was really cool to walk in the room and already be welcomed with Afro Unicorn. And then I did 3 schools and a library. So I had 5 events yesterday.
Girl,
so
booked and busy.
I'm tired.
Booked and busy. But now you're ready to talk about your
I'm ready.
CEO stories.
I'm ready.
I love it. I love it. So we don't do normal introductions here on Ghetto CEO Podcast, because they can go watch any interview. You're probably on the news and all the things, right? And so I got a question for you. To introduce yourself, if your ex-employee could introduce you to their best friend, how would they introduce you?
Wow, my ex-employee. I'm trying to figure out, like, which one?
Like, which I was thinking
Which ex-employee? Honestly, I would hope that they would say, she has a smart mouth.
Yeah.
She has a smart mouth, but she's very tenacious and she gets the job done. Like, so many people always try to spin the block with me.
Yes.
So even if the relationship ended on not so good terms, they always try to figure out how to get back. Because at the end of the day, I want everybody to win.
At the end of the day. That's
so they know that April wants to see you win.
Listen, first of all, let's talk about this get back, this spin the block, okay? Because I think even in my entrepreneurship journey, as I have hired and fired employees, that spin the block, sometimes it be like,
okay, babe, you could come back. But then when they come back, it was like, never mind. That was not. Like, have you ever had that experience?
Oh, yeah. I had it not in this business, but in another business. And it actually just came up recently. Someone brought her up. I had forgotten about her. But I hired her twice. And I was like, dang, girl, go with that gut.
Every time.
Get that Olivia Pope white hat going and go with the gut.
Yeah.
Because they're ex-employees, ex-people for a reason. And it's never worked well the second time around.
And I wonder if that's just how it's supposed, like, because it's a reason why they left the first time. But I always think, like, well, maybe I'm different. Maybe they're different. You know, like, I just feel like it's going to be different. But anytime I think about it and I'm like, let me spin the block, I'll be like, no, I can't do it.
And it's not that they're not good people.
Yeah.
But it's just not the right mix for you.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, let's jump in. So tell them who you are. Tell them about this amazing brand. You are taking the streets by storm right now.
Trying. So I'm April Showers, founder of Afro Unicorn.
Yes.
Afro Unicorn is a lifestyle brand to remind women and children of color how unique, divine, and magical we truly are. I'm the first Black woman to have a licensed brand character in major retail. What that means is my product sits on the shelves next to Disney, Marvel, and Nick. So when you're looking for Afro Unicorn, you find Star Wars, you'll see Afro Unicorn. We are in Walmart, Target, CVS, 25 different retailers, every grocery store, so approximately 40,000 doors nationwide. Anything from having a full party to toys to hair care. We just launched our magical tresses, pool, you name it. I say it's a modern day Hello Kitty.
Oh, I love that. You know, and thinking about, I just remember my childhood. Hello Kitty had me in a chokehold. Okay, I'm talking about the bed, like everything just had to be between Hello Kitty and like Betty Boop. Like,
okay, Betty Boop.
That is like chokehold. But you know, that is a good reference, right? And I think people, I don't know if do kids now have that? I guess you are creating it, right?
Yeah, kids, but kids still love Hello Kitty. I think Hello Kitty is celebrating their 50th anniversary next year. And it's not just kids. Hello Kitty, like Afro Unicorn, is a 4-quadrant brand, meaning we're cradle to the grave. Okay. So we have everything from the babies all the way up to our elders that rock Afro Unicorn. The event that I had yesterday, it was a 3-generation family that walked in, and they were all repping Afro Unicorn. Period. So, I mean, we go all the way up to 5XL. So anybody can get into Afro Unicorn.
You know, I really love that. But I'm thinking now my CEO brain is going. And the first thing I'm thinking is, those sound like a lot of SKUs, and that sound like a lot of trouble. So what's the craziest thing that has happened in developing manufacturing for all of this?
So a lot of people don't understand licensing. And yes, it is a lot of SKUs. We have over 500 SKUs in the market space right now. But again, I'm a licensed character brand. So when you see Disney everywhere, Disney does not own, it's not a warehouse that Disney has where they're manufacturing their products. They have licensee partners who own factories in China or domestically. Most of them are in China, but they own the actual factories. And those licensees will have certain categories. Like I have on Afro Unicorn socks right now. So I have a sock licensee partner that only produces sock. I have a partner who only produces the hair care and the hair accessories and the bedding. So a lot of people, especially in our space, again, I'm the first Black woman to do this.
This is new.
So we don't even know that this is even a thing. Like Calvin Klein, his stuff is licensed. Ellen Tracy, it's licensed. All of your characters are licensed, meaning those particular creators do not have a facility. I know you're like 500 SKUs.
Yeah, in my
all
mind,
these
that's where
doors,
it went.
who packing, who shipping.
But now it makes sense.
Nobody on my team.
No, not us. We out here creating. We connecting.
Right. We're connecting. Speaking of creating, shout out to my manager, Skia Fountain. He's in the room. Yay. He's the other side of my brain and my creator to help me think of my vision further.
Yes.
And so it was him that I reached out to so Walmart reached out to me and asked if I would create a party supply line, if I would be interested. And I'm like, oh, of course. Back up. I'm a huge manifester. So my son had asked me about Walmart because I was frustrated about a bad deal that I was doing with Amazon when I was getting the products myself, shipping them, packaging them, fulfillment.
Right.
The hustle. Baby, that was only one SKU. It was just a plush. And I was about to lose my ever-loving mind.
Yes.
I was about to lose my mind because I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, I can't get through the systems. Like, nothing was working. And my baby came in the room and he said, well, Mommy, what about Walmart? And I said, Walmart? I'm not doing Walmart. And it was only because I didn't even know how.
But you can't tell the baby that.
I can tell the baby that. I can make the baby think I wasn't a superwoman, superpower. We got a whole unicorn brand, so I can let him see me sweat.
Yes,
so I'm like, I'm not going into Walmart.
Right.
And then he said, okay, well, I think Walmart would be a great opportunity. And then he went in his room. And not even 30 minutes, we share an email account because he's my young COO.
Okay. How old is he?
At the time, he was only 14.
Okay.
He's 17 now.
Okay.
And so he opened up his bedroom door, and the living room was right there. And he looked at me. I looked at him. He was like, you see that email from Walmart? It happened the same moment. It happened the same moment that they reached out. And so I'm like... on the top of the world. But then I started thinking like, okay, somebody else reached out to me on my website and was like, I heard Walmart is considering you.
Oh, nice.
We would like to set up a call.
You a demand.
And I'm like, they talking.
Yes.
I'm like, but I'm not going to tell them about the other person because I don't know how it works.
Right.
I don't know how it goes. I don't know how none of this goes yet.
Yeah.
And so I basically was just like, she wanted to set up a call.
Mm-hmm.
So we set up that first call, and she based in the email, she was like, I want to meet your team. And I went, Jesse gonna be in school.
Facts.
Where?
We got a work day today. We have to get him out of class.
Team.
Right. Yes.
It was literally me, my baby.
Mm-hmm.
We was pressing shirts in the kitchen. My mama would come over and help us fold and package stuff together.
Come on, family.
And I had my social media manager that would help me on social media posts. So I called her. I was like, Kalia, can you join me on my meeting? Because they want to meet my team.
Yes.
And Jesse in school. No. So we got on that call. And I remember I had a coach at the time. And my coach was telling me, and I asked her, I said, my coach at the time was Courtney.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was recently on here.
Yes. Shout out to Courtney.
So I asked Courtney, I said, what should I expect on this call? Because, she was already in retail. And so she was like, they're not going to know this answer, but you're going to ask it anyway. You want to know how many doors are they thinking about putting you in? And she was like, typically with Black brands, they'll start you between like 50, 200, but that's a good number. Any number, she was telling me, any number is good. So I was like, okay, that's the one question I can ask that I know.
Right.
So when I was talking to the lady at Walmart and her team, before we got off, I said, I'm just curious. I know you probably won't know the answer, but how many doors would you be considering to put me in? She said 1,000 minimum. And my mind just went to a place where I couldn't process it.
Yeah.
I couldn't because first of all, I didn't know about licensing.
Yeah.
And hearing my coach tell me a number that was way under 1,000.
Right.
I'm like, okay. I ain't never scared. You know what I'm saying?
But you looking at the stuff, I'm just pressing shirt.
Right.
Yes, I got you.
Right. So that's when she introduced me to the people that hit me up on the website. There was actually somebody that she was speaking to.
Okay.
She was like, I want you to meet with these 2 companies, and then you can decide which one you want to go with.
Okay, so these are companies that help you, that wanted to license.
Right. They were, and again, I don't know nothing. So I'm not even about to act like I know something.
Yes.
I didn't know nothing.
Yeah.
But I knew that I I believe if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Right.
So I was in a position to take in whatever they were going to tell me and figure this out.
Yes, let's do this. Job of a CEO, figuring it out.
I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I met with the 2 licensees, had conversations with them. Still didn't understand what the heck they was talking about.
Yeah.
And they were asking me about royalty rates and MG. And so I remember my friend at the time, we were working together on publishing Askia, who's now my manager. I called him and I'm like, hey, Walmart reached out and they're asking me about royalty rates, and they're asking me, he's in the music industry. So I'm like, I know you probably know some of this.
Right.
Like, can you help me out? And so he was like, well, let me make a call and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
But I'm calling everybody in the Rolodex.
Right.
Like,
Help me.
somebody tell me something. I'm on Google.
I'm not trying to focus
I'm like,
that.
Royalty. What is it?
Yes,
Like,
yes, I am not trying to be on my unsung later on talk about they took all my money.
Right. So then he got back to me and he spoke with a friend of his who was the attorney of JoJo Siwa. So if you don't know, are you familiar with JoJo Siwa?
Yeah,
it's a big brand. It's also a licensed brand.
Oh.
And that attorney, gave him some pointers, but then told him to have us watch The Toys That Made Us on Netflix.
Gotcha.
And The Toys That Made Us on Netflix is about the story of Barbie, Hello Kitty, Legos, all the big toys.
Yes.
And watching that, we got our one-on-one on what licensing in the consumer products space was. And then fast forward, everybody that was in that documentary, we done met with everybody.
Wow. So at what point was this? Like, at what year was this?
So I launched Afro Unicorn May 2019. Walmart reached out August 2021.
Okay.
And then we went into Walmart last June with 1 category. Now we're 19 categories at Walmart.
Wow. So this has been, it's been going, but I don't want to say it's an overnight thing, because you said you had businesses before this. So it is the preparation for the elevation. Right. But I love this, because I think it's also opening our eyes, and I think also us as like Black women and Black entrepreneurs, this is not our lane. Like licensing and knowing that I don't have to be the one in the trap doing the shirts. I don't have to make everything. And I think it goes to the bigger conversation that people have on social media of, do you have to own 100% of everything?
Oh, let's stand corrected. April Showers is 100% owner.
Oh, period.
Owner of Afro Unicorn.
Yes.
I have full creative control and full quality control over the brand.
God ain't petty, but I am. Okay, listen, I got my friends over at God Ain't Petty, but I am, and they are giving us a steal, but not a deal here at the Ghetto CEO Podcast. Listen, they are actually offering us $15 t-shirts. Yes, $15 t-shirts where we could be able to show them, like, listen, God ain't done with me yet. I'm still petty, okay? I want you guys to tap in to their t-shirt line, because, listen, they got over 200 petty tees, okay? Listen, I have a couple myself, and I know that you're going to love these uniquely styled tees. Now, what I want you guys to do is head over to the site. They're offering us for $15 for a limited time only. Click the link below, swipe up, do whatever you got to do, because you need to get your petty tee today. I'll see you guys there. Now back to the episode.
I always try to get people to understand that a light bulb goes off when I talk about the infamous interview with Kanye and Sway. So that interview 8 years ago, Kanye was telling Sway, like, I'm trying to get like the Calvin Kleins and the Ralph Laurens of the world, and nobody's giving me that information. And Sway was trying to give him information, and he told him, you ain't got the answer, Sway.
Yes, he
like
did.
The way you try, because he was like, Kanye, you rich, just go get a warehouse. You can make your own products. And Kanye was like, I lost 27 million trying to do it that way.
Right.
That ain't it. You ain't got the answers. Like, it's the information that's not getting to me. Fast forward 6 years later, he does a licensing deal, not a good one though, with Adidas.
Yes.
And he gave up some control, which I never give up.
No.
But he became, on paper, a billionaire.
Right.
Through that deal.
Yeah.
And it was smarter. It was like, so that's what licensing
looks like.
Yeah. And it's information. It's literally a small group of individuals who control the masses of what you see in retail.
Wow.
As far as licensing is concerned.
Yeah.
Majority of our partners are all in New York. They're all in a 4-block radius of each other.
And
they all know each other.
Yeah.
The licensing industry is a very small community, but the amount of mass production that comes out of it, it's crazy. It's bananas.
Yeah.
But if you're not in licensing, you won't know about licensing. Like, someone literally has to invite you into that space and give you the information. So we're challenged now to learn as much as we possibly can in this space.
Yeah.
So then we could go and find other urban brands and show them this way.
Yeah, because like I said, I don't feel like I've heard, and I've been doing business for 10 years, right? But I'm young too, so you know. But I've never, like, that's just not something. It's like, no one starts the business like, hey, I'm going to try to get this license. Like, that's normally not the thought process. It may be the end result of what happens, but that's not how you normally start, right? But I think that it is an amazing idea. Like, I don't have to do everything. This allows me to really be a CEO.
Yeah, it allows you to be a CEO and to be the creative and market the actual brand.
Yes, not worry about the fulfillment and the manufacturing.
Yeah, because when you're working in the business, it's very, very difficult to stay creative. And then that's when all the frustration comes in.
Yes.
When you're dealing with the day in and day out and you're not able to really focus on the vision of where you want the brand to be. I did it the other way, but I needed to do it that way. I built the brand to sell. So you talked about how people talk about selling or not. I built it to sell because I didn't believe. I knew Afro Unicorn was something big, like the brown unicorn. Like, it didn't exist before.
Yeah.
This deserves to be worldwide, globally. I said from day one, 2019 is going to be a household name, a worldwide brand. I just did not know that I could still be the CEO and get it there. I thought I would have to sell it to somebody else for them, a Mattel. Hell, I thought Diddy would have to come buy it. I did. I was like, oh, Diddy going to buy it?
Yes.
Oh, brother love. But so it wasn't until when Walmart approached me, that's when I learned about licensing, and that I did not have to give over control of my business, and I could still have 500 SKUs in the market and be in 40,000 doors and work literally from my home.
You know, I love this because I think it's giving people another insight on another exit strategy, right? Because I always tell people you should have the end in mind, right? But I think when we think about Black businesses, it's an uproar when we sell, right? So, but there has to be some exit strategy. We can't just assume that your children are going to want this business. So what does this look like for you? So switching gears a little bit, like, how was the creation process of creating this now character that's being licensed in all of these stores that's being seen worldwide? Like, where did the thought process come from? Were there seeds from your other part of your career that started this?
Well, yeah, a friend kept referring to me as a unicorn because I'm a licensed real estate broker and I also run a State Farm agency.
Okay, still to this day.
Yeah, but I'm, yes, on record.
She said, I'm booked in business.
And I'm a single mom of two boys.
Okay.
So my friend kept telling me that I was a unicorn. And I finally was like, why do you keep calling me that? He's like, well, because you're running your businesses, you're raising your boys. And because of me being a serial entrepreneur and raising my boys, I was like, okay, I'll be this unicorn that you keep telling me.
Yeah.
I started to use that emoji on my phone over and over again. And then one day it hit me, why was it only white? So at that moment, it no longer resonated with me. I went to find one that looked like me. I couldn't. And so instead of complaining about it, I just decided to create it. So I literally sat down with my cousin and told him how I wanted the unicorn to look.
Yeah.
And I said, but I'm creating it for other women like me.
Right.
Other women who are just out here hustling, raising kids,
Getting it done.
Just getting it done. And I want to inspire their babies as well.
I love that. Okay, so we play a segment called Okay Monray. And I hope y'all are ready. They love this segment. But Okay Monray is I'm going to ask you 3 provoking questions. And if you can't answer the question and you want to plead the fifth, you got to say, okay, Monray. Okay, you got it? You ready?
Okay, Monray.
She's like, let me practice because I already know. All right, question number 1. If you could write a book like Zane, what would you have named it?
April Showers.
Ooh, Bring May Flowers. I love it. All right, she's like, it gives it what it gives.
It gives what it gives.
I love it. All right, question number 2. What was one of the worst things that happened when negotiating with your deal with Walmart or any retailer?
With negotiate. So, just to be clear, I negotiate them with the licensees.
Okay.
We had one recently where they just tried to lowball me. And I just told Askia, just tell them no.
Okay.
They can't come up to at least our minimum.
Yeah.
Then we're not doing it.
Do you feel like now that you're more comfortable saying no, would you have said no initially?
I didn't know what I was doing initially.
It'd be like.
So it's crazy. The offer that they tried to bring me was an offer that I got initially. But now that we know our worth.
Yes. We're
not doing that.
Can't go back.
We can't go backwards.
Can't go back.
Because I told you, they all know each other.
Yes.
So they'll start talking. And the word on the street is not going to be Afro Unicorn takes lowball deals.
Right. Okay, I love that. And I think that's also an acknowledgement point. Like, it's okay initially to make the mistake, acknowledge it. Because sometimes I be beating myself up. I be like, I should have did this, and this. Hindsight. But now you're like, okay, I'm going to do better next time. So I love that. Okay, question number 3. What is the pettiest thing that you ever fired someone for? It's her looking at the manager looking at her. What's it?
No. What it was there was supposed to be an event that was supposed to be set up.
Okay.
And when I got there,
it was not set up.
She had herself sitting there eating her food and drinking her juice. And nothing of my event was set up.
Oh, that wasn't petty.
So it was a wrap for me at that point.
That wasn't petty. That was rightfully so.
Oh, okay. Because they probably thought I was being petty because I'm always being called out for the way I speak. So.
Okay.
Because I spoke up immediately.
But as you should. This is your business and they gonna want their paycheck in 2 weeks. So we got to keep it rolling.
It's fresh.
It's new. I plead the 5th.
I didn't.
No, I love it. All right, y'all, give it up, y'all. This was really, really good. So one of the things you spoke about several times when we talked about employees is you. And you was like, my mouth. Like, So how has that worked? Because, the thing that we develop a lot as a CEO is personal development.
I was told yesterday that I have to work on how I speak to others.
Okay. In what way though?
Because I'm very direct. I'm straight chaser. I didn't take no fifths.
Yes.
I'm gonna give it to you raw, and I don't play games.
Yeah.
And this is my business. This is my livelihood.
Yeah.
I live in the house that I manifested, which is a really nice neighborhood. I got kids that live in there. I have a lifestyle that I have to maintain for my children. I have a legacy that I'm trying to build. So I don't play about mine. And so sometimes my delivery is not what I say, though. What I say is always on point.
Right. I said what I said, but
it's how my delivery.
Yeah.
And because of that, being a CEO and knowing that's probably one of my weak spots on how I speak to people.
Yeah.
I have to remove myself from certain rooms and let people who speak differently handle those conversations.
Yeah.
So I don't need to be on as the CEO. I don't need to be on every call.
Right.
Because what I don't want to be known as someone that is difficult to work with. So leaning more on my team to say, hey, y'all got to fall on this sword for me.
Yeah.
So I can just be the poster.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's having a team. That's what it's all about.
Honestly.
Them understanding what everyone's downsides are, upsides are, and filling in that gap. So I will say on record that it's not what I say. It's how I say it. And I have to do better.
I love it.
And until I can do better, I'm just removing myself from certain conversations.
And I respect it, but I also respect the acknowledgement of sometimes I need my team to take the L for me, because I can't. What I realized in my business is I can't always look like the villain. Because if I'm the villain, the people don't want to come to work. The people don't, like, I'm the villain and you my graphic designer, you got to design a graphic with my face on it. Like, it's just like, you mad at me, you know? So you have to put people in place to, like, you got to protect the queen.
Protection.
Yes.
That is the thing.
I love it. I love it. So before we go, what would you say to the entrepreneur that's watching this, the CEO that's like, girl, it's been a ghetto journey, but I am loving her story and I just want to continue to be inspired by what she has going on. What would you say to her?
Well, you have to believe
Yes.
that you can do it, and you have to see the end result. A lot of times people don't execute as they're supposed to because they truly don't see what that end looks like.
Yeah.
They get caught up in the details. I didn't worry when they hit me up and they told me this is what they was going to do and they gave me the 1,000 doors. I mean, it shook me a little bit because I'm like, I have one State Farm agency with one door where people come to.
Yeah.
But now you want me, and by the way, it wasn't 1,000, it was all doors. We went into all doors at Walmart.
Wow.
So it's like, how am I going to do it? But
Yeah.
I don't let that paralyze me because I saw my products sitting on the shelves in every single store. So if I visually can see it there, the universe is going to have to figure out the rest.
Yeah.
And I feel like to that entrepreneur, you really, really have to get into your mind that this is exactly, and when I say visualize, you have to feel it, see it. You know what the smell of the room is, like that deep. And you will literally manifest that. The alchemist says that the universe always conspires for my good. And I truly, truly believe that.
Yeah.
Everything that has happened for me, I've never been qualified for it.
Yes.
But I've seen it and it all came together. So just start off with that real belief and be consistent. Don't start something and don't finish it. And do not confuse your movement. What is it that Denzel says? Don't confuse your movement with progress. Because you could run in place.
Yo.
So all that busyness and not executing
Yeah.
is not going to get you anywhere.
Yes.
Stay
Ooh.
focused on the end. You always got to see the end. Like, you got to see the end result of whatever it is that you're doing.
I love that. Y'all, I hope y'all were so inspired by this episode today. And listen, if you are in our coworkers community, if you are not, you need to join our community because, you know, as entrepreneurs, we don't have coworkers. And so we created our own coworkers community. And you need to drop in our Ghetto CEO chat and talk about what are you envisioning? What does your business look like? What can you smell? What can you see? What can you feel? What do you know that the end looks like for you? Okay? And I can't wait to see you guys on another episode of the Ghetto CEO Podcast. Make sure you also like, comment, and subscribe. See y'all later.
Ooh, the ghetto. Invoice in. That ain't ghetto. Money spin. Oh, that's ghetto. Hold on. It's kind of ghetto being a CEO.